Guys, it's Matt and Randy from Graded LTD. Just wanted to jump on and say thank you guys so much. We got to 100 subs. We surpassed our goal. So this is going to be the giveaway videos. The instructions are very, very simple. All you got to do is just drop a comment. Obviously, you have to be a subscriber, but drop a comment on this video. And then once some time goes by, I will go ahead and put everybody's name that left a comment. I'll put it on one of the wheels and then I'll spin it. And then that will be the giveaway winner. So let some time pass. But just as a reminder, if you want to go and show them, we're giving away this Lamar Jackson Donruss rated rookie just to say thanks to everybody that helped us get to this point. It's a big milestone for us. We're very happy, and we're just going to have a lot more great content pumping out for you guys. We got a lot of stuff in store and more giveaways to be had as well.
Lots more. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Okay guys, we're going to do something a little bit different today. So I'm not going to be ripping anything. I'm not going to be showing any cards. I'm just going to be talking to you guys about 5 NFL cards that I've been investing in this off season and going into like the hot months of July, August. These are the guys that you're probably going to want to have. A lot of people have messaged me on Instagram just asking the players that I'm buying. So I wanted to share that with you. Now, this is strictly just my opinion. Okay, these are the players that I believe in. These are the cards that I've seen the market be something I want to be a part of. Feel free to disagree with them. If you want to disagree with me in the comments, go ahead. Some of them you'll probably agree. 1 or 2 you might not agree at all. I'm not going to name guys like Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels and Drake May. Like, those are obvious. Those are the ones that you definitely are going to want to have. But I'm going to discuss some guys that I really like and spots that you can buy low. Now, the first guy I want to talk about is Bryce Young. So Bryce Young was a player that got benched. It looked like everyone had given up on him. His own franchise gave up on him. But I knew right away there's no way the Panthers invested this much to have that player and then just do nothing with him. Completely give up on him. I mean, I don't understand why some of these franchises sometimes will bring in these players and then expect them to completely turn the franchise around. Is Bryce Young undersized? Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, he had no O-line really backing him up. They couldn't get the run game going. He had no wide receivers other than 75-year-old Adam Thielen. So there was really nothing for him to do. Now, quarterbacks, when they get benched, they go one of 2 ways. 1, they can completely shut down. Or 2, when they do get the chance again, which I knew that he was going to get the chance again, they light it up. And he really did at the end of the season. Now, I get the game that he played in where he scored 4 touchdown passes meant nothing. But the point is he scored 4 touchdown passes. Now, I think by the Panthers drafting McMillan with the 6th overall pick, I think that was a bit of a reach, but he's an amazing wide receiver, and I think that shows that they want to invest in Bryce Young and they want to give him a major weapon. So I think he's a guy that you really want to invest in. You can buy his silvers for a relatively cheap price, and you can flip them into 10s, and they go for a couple $100. So when I'm using a reference for what you can buy a card for, I'm just going to use the silvers, the Prism silvers, because those are the best Prism ones to get, and they're ones that can really determine a nice value. So you can buy a Bryce Young raw silver for like $50, and you can flip it for around 220, 200 US. So that's a great margin. So Bryce Young is definitely one of my buys. Now, I'm not going to rank these from 1 to 5. They all have different reasons. These are just 5 players that I personally am investing in. Now, the next guy I want to talk about, you guys may not agree, but it's Michael Penix Jr. And the reason for this is because I like Michael Penix. We did get a small sample size from him last year, and I liked what I saw. The only thing I don't like, and I think what other people probably don't like, is the Atlanta Falcons coaching. I don't really understand what they're doing. I don't understand how they can have this talent, and they can't even win the division, it seems. But I think Michael Penix might be the guy to turn that around. The fact that they don't use Bijan Robinson as like a 25 carries per game back makes no sense to me. I don't understand why Drake London isn't like a top wide receiver each year. I think Kirk Cousins just wasn't the fit, and I think he's there. He's going to be there to ultimately mentor Michael Penix, and you can get Penix cards really, really cheap. I started buying them like right after Super Bowl, and I've got like a rainbow. I've got pretty much everything. I've got his silver variation, every optic parallel. Like, I'm ready to go with Michael Penix, so I really hope he does well. You can basically get his raw silver for around $65, which isn't too bad, but then you can turn it into a PSA 10 is like $400, like $400 US. So the silvers are really, really great cards to get. And if you can get them for a low price and turn them around, put them into a PSA 10, you've got money. Money's there to be made. So I really like Michael Penix. I've talked about it in various videos, but he's definitely one of my buys. Now, the next guy I want to talk about, this is one I think people may disagree with, but there are a lot of people that agree, and that's Justin Fields. Justin Fields is very, very cheap to buy. I mean, you can get his Prism Silver Auto for like $99 right now. And it's because he plays for a bad team. I mean, everybody knows the Jets are not a great team. I mean, they're not going to win the division. We know that. Buffalo owns that division, and my Patriots maybe give Buffalo a run for their money this year. I don't know. I'm just saying. But the Jets obviously won't win the division. But even if they can make some sort of playoff berth, Justin Fields cards are going to go up. I mean, he took the Steelers to 3-0, 4-0, I think, last year. He looked really, really strong. I think he's going to have some solid connections with Garrett Wilson. I think Breece Hall and him will work together really, really well. I think he found a team that'll be good for him the same way that Baker found Tampa Bay, Darnold found the Vikings. Well, he did last year. He's not there anymore. But I think Justin Fields may have found his team, and that's why I'm totally willing to invest in him. I don't know if the PSA 10s have quite gotten to that spike point right now, but I think that they probably will once he wins a couple of games. The next guy that I want to talk about is a guy that I've been on basically forever, and that's CJ Stroud. Now, the reason I want to talk about CJ Stroud is because that card market, just because he had a bad year last year, the card market should not have dropped the way that it did, in my opinion. And it's good for me because I just used that to my advantage, and I bought up tons and tons of CJ Stroud. Now, I had CJ Stroud in fantasy last year, so I watched a lot of Houston Texans games, and I got to tell you, a lot of that play was not his fault. Houston Texans were brutalized with penalties. And you want to know why they were brutalized with penalties? Laramie Tunsil. And what did the Texans do this year? They ditched Laramie Tunsil. But it's going to be very hard for a quarterback to come and perform when he's 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15 on every single drive. He also didn't have Joe Mixon for a lot of those games, and Joe Mixon was one of the most dominant backs in the NFL last year. When Joe Mixon was healthy, the Houston Texans were clicking. When they weren't getting penalties, the Houston Texans were clicking. But when they get all the way down to the midfield line, field goal range, and Laramie Tunsil gets a penalty after penalty after penalty, and CJ Stroud is 3rd and 26, there's not a whole lot you can do. There's not a whole lot any quarterback can do. So I don't blame CJ Stroud at all. Yes, did he have a lot of incomplete passes? Sure, but if you're 3rd and 15, the defense is going to have a pretty easy time figuring out what you're going to be doing. Laramie Tunsil was the most penalized player in the NFL last year. He had 17 penalties for well over 100 yards. I think Laramie Tunsil was a huge problem, and they got rid of him. So I think the Texans are going to be a lot better, and they made playoffs. It's not even like they finished 4 and 13. They made playoffs. They lost, but the point is they made it even with all those things happening. So CJ Stroud is 100% a buy in my opinion. Now, the last player I want to talk about, this is a player that you can get extremely cheap, and I'm looking to buy up a ton right now. I don't have too much, but I'm looking to get a lot. Some people might disagree, but I'm telling you, this is a solid buy, and that's Joe Milton. And the reason we're buying Joe Milton, guys, is because you're not always investing in the player. You're investing in the hype, and people love Joe Milton. They love watching Joe Milton. They love the throws that Joe Milton makes. They love the exciting plays that Joe Milton makes. Everything points to buying this guy. Now, yes, he just got traded to the Dallas Cowboys, and yes, Jerry Jones loves Dak Prescott, but if Dak Prescott gets hurt, who's coming in? Joe Milton, and those prices are going to skyrocket. Not only that, guys, but right now, you can buy a Joe Milton Prism Silver for $30. 30 US around there, and if you were to grade it and get a 10, right now, this is off season, and he's a backup, you can get around 200 US for it. I think it's between 200 and 250 US for a Joe Milton Prism Silver PSA 10. And the guy's not even starting yet. That's how much people like him. That's how much people want to invest in him, is because he's explosive. He looks great. I mean, he was playing when he made that game, when he came in for the Patriots and won that game that cost them getting the first overall pick. I mean, he was playing 3rd string Buffalo Bills players. And he showed out, and everyone lost their minds and, said he was going to start over Drake. I knew that was never going to happen, so I'm kind of happy we traded him. He's never going to start over Drake. Let's just be honest. But guys, he's not even starting yet, and he's already putting up these numbers. Like, when I was shocked to see his Prism Silvers were doing that well. I thought they'd be like $70, but they're into the 200s. I mean, I've seen a couple at 3. So I think Joe Milton is an amazing buy. Now, like I said, these are all just my opinions. If you disagree with them, I'm sure people will. I'm sure people will think there's other buys out there, but people like Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, like, guys, obviously you want to have them going into the season. But these are my 5 buys that I really, really like. A couple notable guys that didn't make the list because I don't know if I really believe in it, but I mean, you can buy them super dirt cheap. One is Kenny Pickett. It looks like he's going to be the starter for the Browns. I wouldn't invest too much into it, but might be okay to grab a couple Kenny Pickett cards. As far as running backs go, Bucky Irving, great buy. I think he fits in that offense extremely well. Running back cards usually aren't very expensive. And there was one more running back that I really loved. And the other running back that I would probably look into buying a couple of his cards, I think he's kind of a couple years away, is Jalen Wright. I really like Jalen Wright. I really like the way he plays. And I like Devon Achane too, but Devon Achane gets hurt. And I think he's going to probably continue to get hurt. And I think eventually Miami Dolphins will be Jalen Wright's team. Buy up his autos. They're extremely cheap. I have a few already. I have an RPA. So those are a couple other notable players that I wanted to mention. But top 5 guys that I invested in this season: Bryce Young, Michael Penix Jr., Justin Fields, Joe Milton, and CJ Stroud. If you guys have any questions or you want to talk about anything football related, drop in the comments players that you are looking forward to seeing this NFL season. I know I can't wait. I'm already ready. I've already been watching clips and highlights, ready to go. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for getting us to 100 subscribers. We're extremely happy. We appreciate all the support, and don't forget to comment on this video. This is the giveaway video, guys. So this is the one you want to comment on if you want to win the Lamar. But we'll be back at it with the next video. Probably going to be doing another rip or maybe like a mail day. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We really appreciate it. Graded LTD out.